Students, welcome to the computer class of Standard 9. I hope you all are fine and you all are doing well. Students, today we are going to begin our chapter number 13, Introduction to Internet. In that, we are going to discuss about the network and network of network, that is Internet, and how we can access this Internet facility. So, let's begin our chapter number 13. Students, now we are going to begin our chapter number 13. Here we are going to discuss about the network and about the network of network, that is internet. So let's just begin our chapter here. We all know the computer is a very useful and many applications we are using to perform the efficient task. But however, the computer may not have all the resources along with them. The basic components of the computer that we already knows that if we wants to work, monitor, mouse, CPU and keyboard are required. But if you'll go in the office and in some of the organizations, then these computers we are finding so many computers are there in the office, but in all the computers the printers and scanners like devices are not attached. These devices are attached with the specific computers only. So when we wants to take the printout, we need to go to that computer in which the printer is installed. Then some of the times we are finding that in some of the computers only English language is supported, not the regional language like Hindi and Gujarati. So if we wants to use that language, then we may use that computer in which that language are supported. Then after, in some of the computers we are finding that storage mechanism is not provided. So you can perform the work, but you cannot store the work inside the computer. So for the storing mechanism also the different computers are there. So when this type of problems are there, then at that time we have to find the server computer or the computer that provides all the facility. So if these things happen very often, very frequently, then again and again we need to go to that particular computer. So here, to reduce that task, or here now they think that why should not we connect the computers with the different capabilities, means in one computer the regional languages are there, in one computer we can store the data, in one computer printer is attached. So why we are not connecting these computers together? So when we will connect the computer together, then they can use their facilities are also linked, and any facility can be accessed from any computer. So have you think here, so when we will combine all this computer, or when we will join them, when we will link them, then from the one computer this all the computers are now capable. So from any computer you can type the regional language, from any computer you can take the printout, and from any computer you can do the thing here. So like this, the facility is available in one computer, but when you will connect them with each other, all the facilities are shared among them. So that is why the concept of network came. This is the idea, this is the basic idea behind the computer network. So which are the computers has the different capabilities, we will connect them, we will merge them together, and then we will access all the facilities as a centralized location. So this is the idea that is given in the figure 13.1. So here you can see the file is stored in this computer is at the another location, but from that computer I will access the file from my office computer as well, because they both are connected with each other. So like this, once the computers are connected with each other, we can share all the resources, all hardware and software resources, remember students. So this is the idea behind the network. So basically network is means the things are connected with each other, then it is known as a network. And when computers are connected with each other, then it is known as a computer network. So now we will discuss the basic types of computer network. So there are three basic types of networks are there, students: LAN, MAN and WAN. Local area network, MAN stands for metropolitan area network, and WAN stands for wide area network. Local area network connects the computers and other devices over a relatively short distance. Means if in a one location only, suppose you wants to create the network at your school, at the hospital, at your home, then with the local distance that is within 1 to 10 meters only, you can create the LAN network, that is local area network. And here it is the operating in a limited space. LANs are also typically owned, controlled and managed by a single person or an organization. Any one person or any one organization is managing the local area network. And here in the local area network, you can connect the computers with the wired media, as well as you can use the wireless connection also. So when the LAN is connected with the wireless connection, then it is known as a WLAN. So here WLAN stands for a wireless local area network. So here remember, when there is a less distance, within a short distance you want to create a LAN then network, then we are using the local area network, that is within 1 to 10 meters, and where it is useful in the specific buildings, in the offices, in the school, in the laboratory, in the hospital. At that time they are using the local area network to create the network locally to their office only. That is the purpose of LAN. Then we are going to discuss about the WAN, that is the wide area network. As per the name, we can say that the wide area network spans a large physical distance. And here the internet is the largest WAN. So here you have to remember the example of WAN is a internet. And basically what the WAN is doing, see here so many LANs are connected. And if you want to connect one LAN to the another LAN, then that is possible with the help of WAN, means with the internet. So for that I will give you the example. So many banks we are having in our country. So you just assume that one bank we have in the Bhavnagar city, one bank we have in the Ahmedabad city. So here in the Bhavnagar city, in the bank the local area network is there, and in the Ahmedabad also the local area network is there. With that they have connected the computers. Now if we want to connect this Bhavnagar LAN and the Ahmedabad LAN with each other, so geographically they are at the different location, yes. So that both LAN you can connect with the help of WAN, means with the internet you can connect both the LANs. So like this, the wide area network is used over the large physical distance, and basically it combines the multiple LANs and MANs together. Then after next is a MAN. MAN is a metropolitan area network. So here this network is spanning a physical area that is larger than a MAN, but that is smaller than a WAN. And such as a city is called metropolitan area network. So if there is a city based network, then it is known as a MAN. The LAN is for the organization, to one organization only. Next is for the city, and the WAN is the global network that combines the multiple LANs and MANs together. A MAN is typically managed or operated by a single entity such as a government body or the large corporation such as a municipal corporation. So large entities that are managing the MAN. But who is managing the WAN? WAN is a global network, so any one person cannot manage the WAN. So here the most WANs like the internet, they are not owned by any one organization, but rather that exists under the collective or distributed ownership and management. So many people are working together to manage the wide area network, that is our internet. Then after the next, some other types of categories of networks are also there, that is SAN, CAN, PAN and DAN. You have to remember this, all the full forms of these networks. So here the SAN is a storage area network, system area network, server area network, or sometimes it is also called small area network. Next is a CAN. CAN is a campus area network, controller area network, or sometimes it is also known as a cluster area network. Next is a PAN. PAN is a personal area network and DAN is a desk area network. But here the LAN and WAN are the original categories of the area networks, while the other have the gradually emerged over many years of the technology evolution. So here the three main categories of a network are LAN, MAN and WAN, that you have to remember. Now we are going to discuss about the internet. So internet is also a kind of a network. In short, you can say that internet is a network of network. So many networks we can connect with each other with the help of internet. So internet is, that is why it is also called the super network or the meta network. This computer network is spread across different parts of the world. So the internet combines the two basic things. What is included in the internet? Two basic things are there. One is the computer and another is the connections. So here you are here you are combining the computers that are in the connections. So together it is known as a interconnections and a network. So here the interconnection of a network, that is known as a internet. So how the term came here, you just see interconnections and network, and by merging both the term came here, that is internet. So computer in the network can be connected with some wire or maybe with a special type of connection facility that is called the wireless connectivity. So whatever the computers are there in the network, how we can connect them? So one media is that is the wired media. Wire mechanism we can use, and another is the wireless. The popular connections use phone line cables. So phone line cables, we already knows that before the landline connections was there. So the landline connections was established with the wire connection only. Yes. So same as with that same phone line cables, you can get the internet facility as well. And here they are using the optical fibers and the satellite links. Here we will see the figure 13.2 that demonstrate the conceptual diagram of a internet. So first we will see that diagram here, that is 13.2. So here you can see this is the image. So here you just see that these three you can see yellow computer, blue computers and purple computers. These are the LANs. This is yellow is LAN 1, this is blue one is the LAN 2, and purple is the LAN 3. So they are the LANs, means they are the LAN is created at the location, different location. But if you want to combine these LANs with each other, then how you can combine? With the help of a internet. And here you can see that is the backbone, means that is the wired connection, or the how they are connected, that is known as a backbone. So this is the concept of internet. If you want to connect the LANs with each other, then that we can do with the help of internet. And here you just see server computer is there and client's computer. So server computer means the computer that has all the facilities, and that facilities will be showed or that will be shared among these client computers. So the client computers doesn't have any facility. All the features are there in the server computer, and that features are shared among their clients. So these are the image of that. You can see this is the internet. Then after we will see that when the computers are connected in the network, then they must behave in the proper way. Some manners and obey, they have to follow the some of the rules. How we are having the rules and regulations at our home. So here our parents are teaching us that they are giving us the manners. So when any guests are coming, then we have to welcome them and we have to offer them something. So this is not a fixed formula. Every person will not do like that. But this is the behavior that is taught by our parents. So that insist us to follow such manners. So similarly, when the computers are connected with each other, they have to follow some of the rules and regulation for the proper functionings of a computers. So for the smooth operation in the network, all the computers and the other devices that should behave in the good manners. So these laws means these rules and regulations that are known as a protocols in the terms of computer. So when we are giving these rules and regulations to the connected computers in our system, it is known as a protocol. So when we will follow these protocols, then the protocols guarantee the smooth operation between the connected computers in the network. So here these protocols are the FTP, TCP and IP. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. So when we want to transfer the files between the connected computers, which protocol is responsible? File Transfer Protocol. That will allow that flexible transmission of the file between the computers. Next is the Transmission Control Protocol. This protocol is manage the transmission between the computers. That is, when the file is transferred from the one to another computer, the smooth operation is managed by this TCP protocol. And Internet Protocol manages our internet. So these are the three protocols that is for the smooth functionality of a computers in a network. Then after we are going to discuss about that IP addresses. So what is the IP addresses now? When the computers are connected with each other and when we want to transfer the data from one computer to another computer. So suppose I am the sender and now I want to give data to another computer. So that computer name or something I should know, na? So when I will give you the example, then you just see in the class so many students are there. So if I want to call a particular student, so either I have to take the student name or student roll number. Same as in the network, in the computer network, so many computers are connected. Then to which computer I want to transfer my data, that I have to tell. So how we can do that one? So as just we have a unique telephone numbers in a telephone network. Have you ever seen that two telephones, that mobile numbers are the same? No. So here each and every address, the name that you are giving to the computer, that must be unique here. So this is known as a IP address. So here once the computers and other devices are connected within a network, we need to identify the computer to get the resources. So if you do not know the computer's address within the network, how would we get help from it? Means if you don't know the computer address, then you cannot transfer the data. So to identify every machine in a unique fashion, there is a requirement of an address or an identification number. So if you want to transmit the data, you need first the identification number of that computer. And that identification number is known as a IP address. So here the IP address stands for Internet Protocol. That defines the guidelines of such addressing. A typical IP address can be as shown here. So you can see here the IP address. So that is visible here. You can see it is divided into the 4 groups and all 4 groups are separated with the dots. But this is the IP address that is shown to us, that is in the decimal form. But internally the computer understands only binary language, and this IP address is written in the binary only. So here if one computer knows the IP address of another one, they can talk with each other and they can share the resources. So here you have to remember that in the computer network, how the computers can communicate with each other. So with the help of their IP address. As computer use the binary language to interact, the IP address are represented into the binary language internally. That is shown to us in the decimal language. How it is visible here, that is 216.27.61.137. But internally it is stored in the form of binary language that computers understand. Here now the IP address are divided into the 2 categories. That is, one is the IP version 4 and next is the IP version 6. And usually the IP address takes the 32 or 128 bits. So majority of computers with the IP address has the IP address version 4. But nowadays the few computers has started using the extended version, that is called the IP version 4. So IP version 6. So IP version 4 uses the 32 binary bits to create a unique address on a network. And IP version 6 using the 128 bits. An IP version 4 address is expressed by a 4 number separated by a dots. So you can see here the example how it is just shown to us, that is in the four parts is written that IP version 4 is expressed by the 4 numbers. So here you can see the 4 numbers are there, and how they are separated by the dots, and each number is the decimal representation. I told you that to us it will be shown in the decimal representation, and an 8 digit binary number. So this binary number, but actually it is written in the 8 digit binary number. So we will understand the figure for that. So here you can see first one is the IP address written in the decimal form in which it is shown to the users. So that is the decimal form. But how it is actually represented? So it is divided into the 4 groups. Yes. So here first group is there, and for that the 8 digits are there. Then after the next group and again 8 digits. So like this, when you will combine this 8 digits 4 group, then it will become the 32 bits. So like this the IP address will be represented there in the form of binary. So now we are going to discuss about the components of a internet. Means when we are connecting the multiple computer networks together with the help of internet, then which are the components are useful to combine the multiple networks together. So first, the internet connects the millions of academic, business and government networks. So this all the networks you can combine with the help of our internet. And internet is not a proprietary network, means it is the free network. Within the internet, there are some large and high speed computers that are used to store information. So here in the internet, we are just having some of the computers that has the higher capabilities based on the other computers. So the computers that are high speed computers and that can store the large amount of data and that can processing of data faster, these computers are known as the server computers within a internet. And with these server computers, so many computers are connected to share their services or to get the services from that server computer. So whatever the computers are connected with the server computers, they are known as a client's computer. So then after these servers are connected on land as well as across the oceans with the help of the high capacity cables. So if we are connecting these servers together, so we can connect these servers together across the oceans or on the land with the help of the cables. So these cables are known as a backbones or information super highway. Means how we can connect the computers with the help of the cables. So these cables are known as the backbones of a internet, or it is also known as the information super highway. Through that we will transmit the data from the one network to another network. Then for the data transmission, fiber optic cables are very useful. Internet also uses routers that helps in the forwarding the content within the network. So basically the routers are useful to manage the consistency of the data. Means if the data you are passing that is to the long distance, then at the some distance it will lose the consistency of the data. So to maintain the consistency at the some distance, we are transferring the data through the routers. So routers are basically the device that forwards the data within the computer network, and it manages the consistency of your data. Then after, wired media such as telephone cables can transfer only analog signals while computers sends digital symbols. So here we have discussed that how we can transfer the data or how we can use the access the internet facility. So before we have discussed that through the telephone cable we can use the internet facility as well. But you just see, when we are using this telephone facility, means when you are calling any other person through your telephone, then here we are just talking with them. So means you have to say. So when we are saying something, that input is known as a analog input. Here we are giving the voice input, and voice input is recorded in the form of analog. But when we are sending the data from the computer, this data is in the form of digital, because we know the computer understands only digital language. So when you are transferring your data in through the telephone network, when you are transferring this internet data, your computer data through the telephone network, then you have to do some of the conversion. Data type conversion is required here. So when you are transferring the data through the telephone cable, so at that time your computer has the data in the digital form, but you want to transfer it through the telephone cable. So the telephone cable can transmit only analog data. So at that time when you want to send the data, then you have to convert your digital data into the analog form. So at that time, to convert your digital data into the analog form, this process is known as a modulation process, and one device is there to do the modulation is known as a modulator. So what modulator will do? It will convert your digital data into the analog. Then after, through that telephone cable, your data will be transferred into the network. Now you just assume that data is reached to the destination point. So at the destination point also computer is there. In the computer only we will receive the data. But in the telephone line the data is there in the analog form. So when we want to receive the data on another side, at that time we have to convert that analog data back into our digital form. So this process is known as a demodulation, and the device that able to perform this task is known as a demodulator. So demodulator is also known as a detector or a demode. So demodulator will convert your analog data into the digital form back. And nowadays this both the operation, one device is coming that can do both the operations together, modulation as well as demodulation. So this device is known as a modem. So here the modem stands for modulator and demodulator. And nowadays the most of the computers have the built-in modem. So here you can see the figure. So when you are transferring, this is the personal computer, your client computer. From here you are sending the data to the server. So you just see when you will send the data, then the modem is there. Modem will convert the data into from the digital to analog. So when it will go to the modem will convert the data into the analog form. Then after, here you can see the wire is there. So in the wire the analog data will be transferred. Now it reaches to the destination. So that is in the internet, and with the help of this, in the server we want to submit the data. So at that time it will convert this modem will convert the analog data into the digital form. So here the modem will perform both the tasks, that is modulation as well as demodulation. Then after the next, now we are going to discuss about the history of internet. So till now we have discussed about the internet, but how this network established, from where, what is the origin to from where the concept of network came, that we are going to discuss here. So during the late 1960s, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, that is DARPA, started a project to develop a communication protocol for a computer network. So which agency has started the project? DARPA. DARPA has started the project, and they have created the communication protocols. Means what are the computers are connected in the network. When we want to communicate with that computer, they have to follow some rules and regulation. So they have created some of the communication protocol for the computer network in the year 1960. And this project, what is the name of that project? ARPANET. So this ARPANET project was funded by a US military. Means who has given the financial support to this ARPANET project? Our US military has given the financial support. So basically this ARPANET was created for US military. So the ARPANET was a set of US military computers. So in the ARPANET only, in this ARPANET, in this computer network, only US military computers are only connected, and they are communicating, means which data they are transferring, that is the defense and security related information they were transferring through the help of ARPANET. And this network used to send the data by splitting it into the small packets through routers. So to manage the security, what they have done here, they were not sending the wall information together, but instead they will make a part, means they will divide the data into the small packets, and this small packets they will send through the router. So this was the mechanism of a ARPANET. So ARPANET was started for the US military to transfer the defense and security related information. So this ARPANET was the project or the network that is established for US military. Then after, in the middle of 1980s, the US National Science Foundation, NSF, you have to remember the full forms, National Science Foundation, NSF, developed their own network, NSFNet, and that provides the basic platform for the communication services used for modern networking. So which are the services, communication services are there for in the modern networking? For that they have created their own network, that is NSFNet. Then after, gradually different protocols were invented and many organizations came into the existence that dealt with the internetworking. And some examples of other network are Because It's Time network, that is BitNet, Because It's Time network, and Computer Science network, that is CSNet. That facilities called gateways were developed to connect the BitNet with other networks, which allowed exchange of electronic mail, particularly for an email discussion list. And the ARPANET was dismantled in the year 1990. Means it was destroyed in the year 1990. So this is the history of our internet. First is the ARPANET, then after NSFNet, then after BitNet, CSNet, and here we have discussed about the different types of network. So first they have created their own protocols, and then they have created the network for their own use, and then after later on all the networks were connected with each other with the help of the internet, that is the network of network. So I hope you understood the different types of networks that we have discussed. Then after, the components of network, about the IP address that we are using to communicate with the computers that are connected with the network, and history of internet. Rest of the things we will discuss in the next session. Thank you, students.